What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another offseason post-draft prospect rebuild here on NBA 2K22 Next Gen. Today, the Keegan Murray Sacramento Kings rebuild. Now, only time will tell if this was the right pick for the Sacramento Kings. Obviously, Jaden Ivey was sitting there at number 4 for them. They went ahead and took Keegan Murray, who was without a doubt one of the best two-way players in the entire country last season. He scored a whole lot of points, and he played some pretty solid defense as well. So, I still think he's a really good prospect. He's just ending up on a really shitty organization. And obviously today our goal is to get them a championship, which is not an easy feat. So I just want to inform you guys of my plans for the next couple of videos. We are going to go ahead and do this one, and then the Jaden Ivey rebuild should be out tomorrow or maybe the next day. After that, we're going to take a little bit of a break from the prospect rebuilds. We're going to do a couple fantasy drafts. We're going to do a video of me reacting to some of your hot takes, and anything else you guys want to see, leave down below in the comment section. Of course, if you guys can do me a favor, hit that sub button while you're down there. I would greatly appreciate it. And a like on the video wouldn't be too shabby as well. All right, man, the Sacramento Kings, pretty much the worst, if not most irrelevant franchise in the entirety of the NBA. And our goal is to get them a championship. Let's get into it. We'll quickly go over what the Kings kind of have working for them right now. Obviously, they got Sabonis in a trade with Tyrese Haliburton with the Indiana Pacers, which was a pretty questionable move when Tyrese Haliburton was probably one of the better players you've drafted since DeMarcus Cousins. But again, the Kings are going to do Kings things. So, De'Aaron Fox is here. He's obviously going to probably be one of the main focal points on this team. He's a very good, very young point guard. I'm excited to have him on this squad. I'd like his three-point shooting to get a little bit better. Davion Mitchell, who's very good as well himself. I would like to have him in a starting role. I just don't see a way to kind of get both him and De'Aaron Fox starting on the same team. I don't think either of them is really a pure shooting guard, if you will. I mean, I know the NBA is pretty much positionless these days. I just think our best chance comes with one of them in the starting lineup. The shooting guard spot, I don't mind Terrence Davis. I don't know if he's a long-term answer, especially on a hopeful championship team. Again, Sacramento Kings and championship is probably not something you can say anytime soon in real life. Harrison Barnes, who I'm probably going to be trading, is just really not fitting this team's window. I think he would do much better on another team, and I think we can ultimately maybe get something of value for him. Keegan Murray, obviously this is who the rebuild is about. He's going to be starting for us for all 3 seasons. Again, as I mentioned, a little bit older on the 21-year-old side. Very good two-way prospect. He was a really good three-point shooter as well. I believe he scored like over 800 points or something like that. He's the first person to do it since like Kevin Durant. Trey Lyles, Chimsy Metu, Mo Harkless. Yeah, no thanks. Pretty much all 3 of those guys right there. And then the man that obviously came over in the trade with the Pacers, Sabonis, who I think he's good. He's obviously on a pretty good contract for the state of the NBA today, and the Jalen Brunsons of the world looking like they're going to be getting $30 million a year. Looks like that, $20 million contract a year, $20 million per year, Jesus Christ, is not so bad for Sabonis. He's an all-star, or former all-star. Rashawn Holmes, who's not too bad himself, and then Alex Len. All right, we got some moves to make. We obviously enter a free agency. Do we have any players? We got a couple here. Do I really want to bring back any of them? DiVincenzo's iffy. I think bringing him back is not necessarily a bad idea. He does want a lot of money, which for Donte DiVincenzo, in my opinion, is not really worth that much money, but we might have to take what we got at this point. I think Damian Jones, Josh Jackson, who I thought was going to be really good in this league when the Suns took him, 6th overall? 4th overall, back in the Jason Tatum draft. Oh boy, what a historic bag fumble that was by both the 76ers and the Los Angeles Lakers, not taking him number 1 and 2 overall, respectfully. But that being said, we're going to make a trade. I think Harrison Barnes' time here is probably done. I don't mind Terrence Davis as a backup. I'd like to maybe get somebody who can start and be a little bit better for us. Let's get into some trades. I've decided that we're going to be tanking this year. I don't think this is even going to be remotely close to a playoff team, no matter which way we kind of go about it. So we're going to get an unprotected first-round pick from the Orlando Magic, who obviously just had the number 1 overall pick. They're not a very good basketball team, and hopefully that can lead us to potentially another top 5 pick and help further booster this team. So we just traded probably one of the better players in this team in Harrison Barnes. Again, I don't really have too many plans to be too good, so I'm really not too worried about it. We are probably going to have to start Terrence Ross at small forward unless I maybe start DiVincenzo or maybe slide Keegan Murray down there. We're going to have to do something there. I mean, we're not going to be very, very good. But, yeah, I think the time's come that I'm probably going to go ahead. Are there any, players here, how much money do I have? So I don't even have enough money to sign, TJ Warren on a 1-year deal. That would have been cool. I'll probably re-sign DiVincenzo and then maybe trade him. I'll bring back Jeremy Lamb I don't even know Jeremy Lamb was on the Sacramento Kings, if I'm being honest with you. Jones can go, Jackson can go, and Nemias Quetta can go as well. So I'm not going to renounce the rights on DiVincenzo. I want him back. Lamb's obviously back. I'll get DiVincenzo back. Do not renounce the rights. After we get through the moratorium phase, and we now hit that, and we're going to re-sign Donte DiVincenzo for way more money than I'd probably be willing to pay him in real life, but welcome back to the team, Donte. Okay, The team's okay. It's obviously not great. What I'm going to try to do right now is try to capitalize on potentially a first-round pick from Metu and Mo Harkless. I just don't see them both playing here at all, if I'm being honest with you. And I think we can ultimately get a first-round pick from maybe both of them. We shall see. We got one here from the Bulls, but it's looking like we're swapping picks. Charlotte wants to give me a top 3 protected pick, so that'll probably be a teens pick next year, maybe early 20s. And then Mo Harkless. What are my options here? Spurs 2025. Ooh, that's a swap. I like those swaps. Sometimes they actually work out. Okay, so yeah, this is the squad we're rolling with going into next year. Again, not going to be very good. I'll see you guys at the start of year number 1. Year number 1 has officially arrived here in Sacramento, and it's probably not going to be a good one. I don't think anybody thought this team was magically going to go from being, again, one of the worst franchises in the entirety of the league all the way to a playoff contender in just one offseason. I mean, that would be crazy. But I think we've made some slight improvements. I think getting rid of Harrison Barnes for a first-round pick that potentially has the option, or has the possibility, rather, to be a really good pick in the upcoming draft. We potentially could have 2 top 5 picks. Who really knows how that's going to go? Here's how it's going to look for year number 1. De'Aaron Fox, the game wants to start DiVincenzo. You can start him. Jeremy Lamb starting. That might be the worst starter I've had so far in one of these offseason rebuilds. Keegan Murray, who the game didn't even want to start. They wanted me to start. Who the hell's our backups power forward? Trey Lyles, yeah, as you can see. Not doing that. And then Domantas Sabonis. Bench unit, Davion Mitchell, who I wish I could find a way to get into the starting 5 again. I just don't see a way for him and De'Aaron Fox to both start here in 2K. Anyways, just my opinion. Terrence Davis, Rashawn Holmes, Trey Lyles, and Terrence Ross, who's down to a 73 overall. And honestly, I probably should have traded, but I'm fine. Just keeping on the team. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and show you what we have to look forward to. We have a top 3 pick from the Hornets. We have the Magic's unprotected pick, and we obviously have our own pick as well. Then we have 2 second-round picks this year. So hopefully a decent amount of picks going into this upcoming draft. Obviously, this is going to be a pretty painful year, and I'll see you guys at the end of it. So the first year went pretty much as expected. We were the 15th seed here in the Western Conference and number 30 in the power rankings, so dead last in both departments. Shocker, I know. Luka Doncic, MVP, another shock, I know. Chet Holmgren, your rookie of the year. Would have been cool if Keegan Murray could have got it. It typically tends to be Chet Holmgren, though. Ben Simmons always wins 6-man. Let me guess, Giannis, congratulations. This most improved tends to change. It's Saban Lee. Didn't see that one coming. Willie Green, coach of the year. Here come the Pelicans. God, I love Western Conference rebuilds. All right, let's see what we finished with record-wise. 27-55. So is that the worst record? Not quite. In the Magic or in the play-in. That sucks. The Hornets are not, though. Their pick's top 3 protected, so maybe that'll actually pan out to be something. We'll take a look at some stats on the year. De'Aaron Fox had a really solid year for us. Domantas Sabonis, not too bad. Keegan Murray, pretty solid rookie campaign, 14.5 points. Around 6.5 boards, 1 assist. Let's see how he shot. 44% from the field, 3-point. 33, would like that to be a little bit higher, but again, that's something we can work on. He is a rookie. Terrence Davis, probably should have started him over DiVincenzo. It's just, yeah, I don't really know. Jeremy Lamb, Davion Mitchell off the bench, who I really feel like I'm probably not going to be able to capitalize on as much as I really kind of want to. Rebounds per game went to Sabonis, and assists was also Domantas Sabonis. So we are clearly not in the playoffs. We don't have to worry about potentially losing any sort of round. You can't lose in the playoffs. You don't get into them. Kind of a fact of life. And here it comes. Every single video. It's like, honestly, I wish I could like bet on these things. Like, I wish I could genuinely gamble on like the over-under of how many championships the Pelicans win in like a 3-year offseason rebuild. Like, I think it'd be set at probably 1.5, but I'd probably remotely take the over most of those times. It's crazy. Let's hit the draft lottery right now and see if we are getting lucky. We are projected to get the number 2 overall pick, and then we are projected to, let's see, 11 from Charlotte, and yeah, it looks like the Magic pick is not going to be very good. We end up with the number 6 pick because we're the Kings, and of course we do. We also have the 11th overall pick via the Charlotte Hornets staff signing. I'm not a big fan of Mike Brown, if I'm being honest. Is that Jay Triano? Oh, my God. Mike Brown, yeah, no. I mean, honestly, I can probably get Stafford just because it's 2K, but I don't really like Mike Brown as a coach. I'm not even going to lie to you. All right, so 6th overall pick. After we were projected number 2, we also have 11. We have 20 from the Magic, number 1 in the second round, and number 20 in the second round. Yeah, it's time to make a trade. Somehow the Denver Nuggets were not very good at basketball, and they ended up with the number 1 overall pick. I would like to go ahead and acquire that number 1 overall pick. I think it gives us a lot more flexibility. I'm not taking Aaron Gordon, no thank you, and I'm definitely not giving you my unprotected first-round pick next year. I think we are possibly going to be bad. Again, top 5 protected for Otto Porter, just... yeah, it's not going to cut it. Who do we have under contract that I'd be willing to trade? Because I know there's hope. Oh, well, there's really nobody. Yeah, no, I'm, that sucks. That really does suck. Like Holmes, no. Like, do you want Jeremy Lamb? They can't even afford Jeremy Lamb. Wow, that's kind of crazy. I will give you this. Nah, that swap could actually turn into something. I'll give you our pick in 2025, and I'm going to put it top 5 protected. They want it first, second, and they'll give me Otto Porter. That's fine. We get the number 1 overall pick. Cool. Otto Porter will not be on this team for long. Neither will Jeremy Lamb. I'm going to move on from both of these guys very quickly, and then we're going to hop into the draft where I'm going to have some decisions to make because I don't really know who I'm necessarily taking with the number 1 overall pick. I think I have some options. But again, that's still kind of up in the air. Otto Porter, just thank you, Memphis. That's perfect. So obviously we can go to the scouting, see who's on the board here. Obviously it's Victor Wembanyama is pretty much headlining this class. Scoot Henderson's here, who actually tends to turn out to be pretty good, except point guard's really the one position we do not need. Amari Bailey's here, Keontae George, Nick Smith. I think Victor's kind of the answer, which ultimately means I'm probably going to be trading Domantas Sabonis, maybe to get some sort of small forward, because that's really a position we are lacking right now. Or maybe I move Sabonis to power forward and Keegan Murray to small forward. I don't know. But Victor's here. I think it would be dumb ultimately just to pass up on him because I do think he's ultimately going to be kind of a franchise talent. For whoever does end up getting him, Victor, welcome to Sacramento. I'm so sorry that you have to be here. And then, honestly, I'll draft somebody with the second-round pick. Let's just see who's available there. I know a lot of you guys have been asking me to use second-round picks, so I'll go ahead and see who's here. I have no idea who any of these people are. Mac Gaines from Wake Forest, Nail Little. I genuinely no idea. This Jesse Pittman dude, at least we know his overall. He's a 71. We'll gamble. I'll take Mac Gaines. Let's see what his overall is with the number 20 overall pick in round number 2. He is going to be a 71 overall. We'll sign him. Could be a good roster piece for us. Still a young piece as well. Davion Mitchell's coming back. I'd rather not trade him, but again, I feel like it almost might be a wasted asset to have him come off the bench. Like, I don't know. We'll see. Devontae Cook, yeah, no thanks. Let's head into free agency where, yeah, we definitely are potentially going to be spenders. LeBron's here. We obviously really don't have the money for him. We actually really don't have money at all. Oh, because we're paying DiVincenzo. That's one of the problems. And then obviously Rashawn Holmes is still making a decent amount of money as well, and then Sabonis. So we have some options. I'll see you guys with whatever's next. This might be an experiment. I've been trying to think of players to trade for that I don't really trade for too often. I think Emmanuel Quickly fills that role pretty well, and looking at the year he just had, it was a pretty good one if we're being honest. So he'd definitely be an upgrade over Dante DiVincenzo, and we'd be saving some money. I know they're not going to do this straight up. I'm definitely going to have to give up something. That's pretty much how these all go. I will give you a Cavs lottery protected pick, and you can have this dude Matt Gaines if you want him. And how about 2 second-round picks? You don't want Emmanuel Quickly. Come on, you're the Knicks. And they are the Knicks. Welcome to the team, Emmanuel Quickly. You are going to be your new starting shooting guard. I think you're a clear upgrade over Dante DiVincenzo. And honestly, we need scoring on this team, and I think that's something he definitely does provide. So, Emmanuel Quickly will be starting. We have a gaping hole at small forward, which is something we definitely need to figure out. And unfortunately, it's probably going to be Domantas Sabonis who's going to get traded. I'll see you guys with the move. This is going to be really, really dumb if it doesn't pan out, and I'm going to look like a complete idiot, and honestly, that's fine. This is a risk that I'm willing to take, but we're moving on from Domantas Sabonis. I think ultimately his time here wasn't really too solid for me. I mean, I don't personally think. I still don't understand this trade from the Kings' perspective when they gave up Halliburton for Sabonis. I know he was an all-star at one point. I just don't think that it was a smart move, but we're trading him. We're sending him to Oklahoma City, and we are going to go ahead and get an unprotected first-round pick from the Wizards, who are not too good themselves. We're also going to acquire Chris Dunn, who's not going to be here. We're basically just giving up on Domantas Sabonis, and that's fine with me because I do have a plan in mind. It does involve getting rid of Chris Dunn, and it also involves getting rid of Rashawn Holmes. We're also acquiring a Bulls first-round pick next year that has a ton of value. So, honestly, maybe one of these will pan out. I don't mind Rashawn Holmes. I just think it's time to also move on. Obaji, I don't like to trade for players whose names I can't pronounce because it just makes my life so much harder. Taylor Malden, Birch, 2 first-round picks from Houston is probably going to be the one we take. Or I could take the Thunder first. That's a Clippers pick. No, thanks. Draymond Green. We're going to go ahead and take 2 first-round picks here. I'm sorry. Again, you might be calling me dumb, but I'm going for it, and I want Zach LaVine. I'm going for it. I actually really didn't even have to go ahead and trade Rashawn Holmes. I probably did not. Looks like he's not going to sign here. My backup plan is Bradley Beal, who is not a bad backup plan. And you might be asking me, what on earth are you doing? And honestly, I don't really know right now. This is going to be a very small team if Bradley Beal is the one I end up with. And it looks like it's probably going to be. Other options here, maybe I could sign an RJ Barrett, who might honestly be a better option for me. And let's just see who's available for us. So we can go RJ Barrett or Bradley Beal. Let's compare the two players. Age-wise is obviously a huge difference. Bradley Beal put up 30 points a game last year. Scoring is obviously definitely something we need. We also don't even know if we can get RJ Barrett. So do I want to go ahead? I actually would rather not renounce the rights here. Oh, that sucks. Anybody else down here? Nope. Oh, wait. I don't have to renounce Terrence Davis. I'm going to take Bradley Beal, and it's going to be a really undersized team, and it's how it's going to go. The Knicks maps RJ Barrett anyways. Zach LaVine goes back to Minnesota. This ultimately might not even work out. And if it doesn't, it was a risk that I think we had to take. We got a huge name free agent in Bradley Beal. We're going to bring Terrence Davis back on a decently somewhat contract. And Bradley Beal is going to be moved to the small forward position where his overall does not really change. Davion Mitchell is obviously a little bit butthurt. But we have our new starting five here, and it's a pretty interesting one to say the least. We need to sign a backup small forward, power forward, and center. We have an extremely young front court. We could actually bring back Harrison Barnes. It's not a horrible option. It's not the best option in the world. I wouldn't maybe mind signing our Nerlens Noel if he wants to come in here. His overall just shot down already. That's dope. And then I'm probably going to make some trades with some guys here. So let me sign Gallo, and then I'm going to trade Gallo. And then who's the second highest overall here? Like Gary Harris? I'll sign us on Whiteside, and we're going to work on some trades here. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting season, to say the least, coming up. I don't know why Davion Mitchell's already butthurt. How Nerlens Noel is already upset. I literally signed him 2 minutes ago. I don't understand. But I need a power forward, and I need a small forward at this point. Let's see some options. Again, it's going to be Nikola Jovic. Let's take him. I'm willing to take that risk. Again, we'll stay kind of somewhat young. Now I need a small forward. There's a fucking bug flying in front of me, and I'm going to smack the fucking shit out of it. Kendrick Williams, that's fine with me. All right, we took an interesting approach. I don't know if it's going to work or not. I'll see you guys at the start of year number 2. Everybody's overall is going down. I really hope I didn't screw this rebuild up too much. Hopefully we can win some games and be a playoff team this year. It's obviously a pretty small ball lineup if we're being honest, but let's see how it works out before we inevitably potentially have to blow it up again in the offseason. De'Aaron Fox, Emmanuel Quickly, Bradley Beal, Keegan Murray, and Victor Wembanyama, bench unit, Davion Mitchell, Terrence Davis, Nerlens Noel, Nikola Jovic, and Kendrick Williams. It's honestly not the worst bench in the world. The starting five isn't even bad. We're just still the Kings. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 2. And it is official. We are in the playoffs. We are a 3 seed here in the Western Conference, number 7 in the power rankings. And honestly, I will take that. We made a lot of risks and a lot of really big trades, some of which some of you might not think are too smart. We'll see how everything works out. I don't even know if they're smart. I'm not defending myself right now. I genuinely don't know if they'll work out. LaMelo Ball is your MVP. He played extremely, extremely well, and congratulations. Victor is your Rookie of the Year. 15.5 points, 9 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 1 steal a game, 2.5 blocks. I will take it. Ben Simmons, Brickleberry, 6th man of the year. Giannis, another defensive player of the year. Jared Butler, most improved in Utah. JB Bickerstaff, he's your coach of the year. Alrighty, let's take a look at the standings. 50 and 32. We hit the 50 game threshold. Honestly, I will take that. That's probably more wins than I thought this team was going to have. Player stats in the year: Fox, Beal, Quickly, Victor, Keegan Murray, Terrence Davis. So, I mean, obviously, I wasn't expecting Bradley Beal to score 30 points a game. There's obviously some other scoring options here. But Nikola Jovic, actually, pretty solid. I think there's still some room to improve with this team. I think maybe getting a little bit better defensively, especially 1 through 3, is not a bad option whatsoever. We got Memphis here in the first round. I honestly wouldn't be too surprised if we lost. This is a very good and very deep Memphis team. But let's go game by game with them and see what happens. We end up picking up game 1 and game 2. We lose game 3. We lose game 4. Lose game 5. We're going to a game 7 here in round 1, and we fucking lose. Okay, it might be time for another major trade. The Celtics beat the Pelicans. Jason Tatum averaged 40.5 points a game. Would have been nice if he could have done that this year. And yeah, it's time for the offseason. I do not know what lottery or if we're even going to have a lottery pick. Oh my God. We're projected the top 2 picks. There's got to be a protection on both of those, isn't there? We have 3 and we have 5. There was no protection. That's dope. That gave us some trade assets that are really going to hopefully work out for us. You genuinely can't get a better coach than Mike Stauffer in this game. He has 5 stars in quite literally everything. But we now have some picks, and that means some assets to potentially go ahead and trade 3, 5, 17, and 23. So 4 first-round picks. Everybody's overall is magically going up now. And yeah, it's time to officially make probably a little bit of a big trade. We are trading the 17th and 23rd overall picks to the Cleveland Cavaliers for 2 future first-round picks. I cannot find a perfect trade that I like. I'm going to go ahead and select somebody with number 3 and number 5, and then they're probably going to be involved in the trade. Ron Holland, you're an 80 overall. Absolutely perfect. I say this just because once we get through team player options, we're going to have a lot more flexibility, and I think everybody knows that. And we really don't have any other players that can match kind of a huge deal so far. Wagner goes 1. Ron Holland's actually a 78 overall. Javonte Taylor, sure. Again, it sucks, but these guys are probably going to be traded just because this is the final season, and we really need to win a championship. Both these guys are probably going to have close to 4 stars in value. So we'll hit qualifying offers to Emmanuel quickly. I definitely don't want to just let go. I don't know if he's going to be a long-term answer here, but I'm definitely not just going to let him walk. We definitely don't have any money. I know that might be shocking for you to find out. Tyrese Halliburton is now a 91 overall. Would have been cool if we could have had him. Okay, I'm going to give a real offer to Emmanuel quickly. I'm not just going to give him the qualifying. Me, Oni can go. I'm going to pay Emmanuel quickly, mostly because he definitely could be involved in a trade. I think I'd rather play Bradley Beal at the shooting guard spot. I think it's his natural position. I'm not saying Emmanuel quickly was the problem on this team. I just think I'd rather have a more pure small forward. So we can take a look at the roster right now, kind of what we have to work with right now. We have a lot of small forwards here, obviously. And yeah, it's time to make a trade. I don't know if this is going to be an overpay for RJ Barrett. I don't even know if this trade's going to go through. Value-wise, I mean, star-wise, it's obviously an overpay. But RJ Barrett's coming off a really solid year. I think the thing that kind of sucks is you guys see me trade for RJ Barrett's or Jaylen Brown's or Brandon Ingram's. And honestly, the reason I'm doing that so often is because these teams that don't have really good starting caliber small forwards, I have to make a trade for somebody. I can't trade for a Kawhi Leonard or a Jimmy Butler because they're on untouchables and they're on the older side. I'm not trading for Chris Middleton. He's just old in this game. He's making $42 million. So I'm just trying to rationalize this for you guys a little bit, why I seem to be getting the same 3 small forwards over and over and over. I wish I could trade for like a Jason Tatum, but that's just not possible. But yeah, let's see if we can go ahead and acquire RJ Barrett here. Javonte Taylor was number 5 overall. You can have his, okay, took 1 first-round pick. Welcome to the team, RJ Barrett. Which means I can now move Bradley Beal back to the shooting guard spot. He actually goes down to an 88 overall. That is fine by me. And this team's looking good. I'm going to keep Ron Holland. He's going to be the backup to RJ Barrett. Ron Holland was our 3rd overall pick in the draft. I, again, have no idea who he is. Kendrick Williams is probably going to be moved. I'm actually going to package him and Nerlens Noel, maybe get a little bit of a better veterans backup center. And other than that, I think this team's in a really good spot right now. Nerlens Noel, Kendrick Williams, and a first-round pick, just a different backup veteran center, preferably somebody who I can bring Rashawn Holmes back. Honestly, not the worst idea in the world. He's a 78 overall. Could bring in Trez as well. 9 and 5, that's actually pretty good. I actually might take Trez. He's a little undersized for my liking, but I'll take him. Welcome to the squad. Welcome to Sacramento. Okay, I don't know if this is a championship caliber. I'm actually surprised Keegan Murray really hasn't progressed nearly as much as I kind of wanted him to, but honestly, that's fine. I'll see you guys at the start of the 3rd and final year. Start of year number 3, the 3rd and final season here in Sacramento. No matter which way you kind of look at it, we've significantly improved this team. And I think this should be a championship caliber team, at least according to 2K standards. We obviously haven't even won a round of the playoffs yet. So from going from that to a championship in one offseason is very, very high goals. But I think we have a really good core, and I'm really happy with the way this team came out. De'Aaron Fox, Bradley Beal, RJ Barrett, Keegan Murray, and Victor Wembanyama is your starting 5 bench unit. We actually kept Davion Mitchell. I thought I potentially would have ended up trading him for something just a little bit better, but the starting 5 panned out pretty well for us. Terrence Davis, Ron Holland, Montrezl Harrell, and Nikola Jovic, who are both playing 10 minutes a night. I wanted to get as many minutes to the starting 5 as possible with a 10-man rotation, and playing 2 guys 10 minutes a night is kind of the only way to do that. So I'm excited to see what this team can do. I'm hoping we can go ahead and win a championship. Only time will tell. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 3. LaMelo goes back-to-back and wins a 2nd MVP award. More importantly, we are a 1 seed here in the Western Conference. Number 1 in the power rankings as well. I will take that every single day of the week. Hopefully it translates to the postseason. Anthony Black, your rookie of the year, is in Chicago. Brickleberry Simmons, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Scoot Henderson, most improved. Yeah, this dude ends up balling out. I really honestly kind of want to do a rebuild with him because he's very good. Mike Stout for coach of the year. We go 57 and 25. And that was good enough for the 1 seed here in the Western Conference. 3 games up on the Pelicans, who I'm really hoping end up getting eliminated sometime before inevitably we'd have to play in the Western Conference Finals. Beal, Fox, Victor Wembanyama, RJ Barrett, Keegan Murray, Ron Holland, Terrence Davis, Davion Mitchell, Jovic, Montrezl Harrell. Rebounds per game was Victor, and assists was De'Aaron Fox. Let's send the play and see what we got here in round number 1. And oh my God. Really? I just really, oh good God, like even if we beat them, that's like crazy. That's a play-in team. Like that just really shouldn't be a play-in team. Like we ended up beating them in 5, but like I don't care. A team like that with that much depth with Steph Curry on it, it's not a play-in team. I don't play with injuries on. OKC here in round number 2. Shea, Josh Giddey, OG Anunoby would be a great addition to the team. Poku, Chet Holmgren, Trey Mann, Monty Bates, they added Darius Baisley, Matisse. Holy shit, they are deep as well. Okay, I'm getting a little bit nervous right now. We are up 3-1, surprisingly. And that's a gentleman's sweep, and here come the Pelicans. My worst nightmare. Keir Lewis Jr., DJ Wagner. How do you have DJ Wagner? How did that happen? I don't know. Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, Derek Lively, Trey Murphy, Devin Vassell, Herbert Jones, Jose Alvarado. Oh, my God. If we can get past this Pelicans team, it will be oh, my God, we're up 3-0. The one team we sweep in the playoffs is the Pelicans, who are a legitimate cheat code in this game. And now we have the Brooklyn Nets. Kyrie Irving, who is staying with Brooklyn. I don't know if it's going to be for more than this upcoming season, but we'll see. Cameron Thomas, Bruce Brown, Kevin Durant, Deron Sharp, Brickleberry Simmons, Hamidou Diallo, and Kessler Edwards. All right, let's go game by game here with the Nets. I honestly can't believe we're in the finals right now, but we are. We're up. We're 2-2 right now. We're down 3-2. We're really going to lose to Kevin Durant. I mean, he is Kevin Durant. But looks like we're going to be winning this one, hopefully, unless really we're not doing this right. I'll try to win this game. I'm horrible at this game, though. Just when I thought it was over, it happens again. The game crashed. I didn't show you that gameplay because it was so bad, and it was just, like, honestly, potentially some of the worst gameplay I've ever had. Yeah, this is what happens. This loading screen just sits here. I won't try to probably get gameplay again. We got lucky once in the other video yesterday, and today we shit the bed. But we lost the finals, but we got to the finals. Overall wise, we made a much better team than Sacramento has had probably in the history of their franchise. I know that series against the Lakers probably still haunts the 7 Kings fans that are on the planet because it was rigged, but hopefully this was a little bit of a restitution for you, if you will. Other than that, let me know down below in the comment section what you want to see. Jaden Ivey rebuild should be out tomorrow. Other than that, that wraps this one up. Of course, video ideas down below in the comment section. And that does it for this one. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.